Ahoy! Welcome to another video. This video is going to be slightly shorter and I am going to focus on a smaller chunk of grammar. The videos I made in the past months were really time demanding, so now I'm trying to narrow the topic, the focus. Today we will take a look at a simple phrase, simple expression, one and the other. In English we have this pair, one and the other, and when you translate it into Czech, we don't say další, we say something else. The word other in Czech can be translated as jiný, další, or druhý. I think that students don't realize that other can often be translated as druhý, the second. In this video, I'm going to show you some expressions where you would translate other as druhý or druhá, druhé. Jdeme na to. Dobrý den, vítejte na mém kanále Czech by Zuzka, kde vám pomocí angličtiny vysvětluju českou gramatiku. Have you noticed that in English you have this pair one and the other, but in Czech you would actually say jeden a druhý instead of jeden a další or jeden a jiný? The thing is, when there are two objects or two people, we refer to them in order. We would say one and the other. And in Czech we say jeden a druhý. One of those things would be, for example, when we talk about hands. For example, you're helping a child to get dressed for winter. It's cold, so you want them to put on gloves. In English, you would say something like, give me your hand, give me the other. And in Czech, you would say, dej mi jednu ruku, dej mi druhou ruku. Dej mi jednu ruku, or you would just say jednu ruku, when it's clear from the context. Jednu ruku, druhou ruku. Jednu ruku, druhou ruku. So literally we're saying, give me one hand and the second hand. Sometimes as a joke we add this. Dej mi jednu ruku, dej mi druhou ruku, dej mi třetí ruku, as a joke. Give me the third hand. Another example would be with the shoes, for example. They're also two feet only, so you would say one foot and the other. So if you're helping putting the shoes on, you would say, dej mi jednu nohu, dej mi druhou nohu, jednu nohu, druhou nohu. Or imagine you're describing two suspicious individuals. Oh, there were two people. One was tall, the other one was short. Jeden člověk byl vysoký, or jeden byl vysoký, a druhý byl malý. Jeden a druhý. Jeden byl vysoký, druhý byl malý. If there were more people, if there were 3, 4, 5, you would continue with the ordinal numbers. You would say, jeden člověk byl vysoký, druhý byl malý, třetí byl tlustý, the third one was fat, čtvrtý byl drobný, the fourth one was tiny, etc. If you are listing more than two objects or two people, you could also start by the word first. První. První člověk, druhý člověk, třetí člověk, čtvrtý, etc. But when you just have two, this is what we say, jeden a druhý. Or you're talking about a 2-day trip, just 2 days. So you would say, one day we did this, the second day we did something else. Jeden den a druhý den. For example, one day we were at the castle and the second day we were at the glassworks. Jeden den jsme byli na hradě, a druhý den jsme byli ve sklárnách. Or you can just leave out the word den. Jeden den jsme byli na hradě a druhý ve sklárnách. Jeden den, druhý den. Jeden den a druhý. Here it is also common to say první den, because you are listing the days. The first day and the second day. První den a druhý den. But we also say jeden den a druhý den. Or if something has two sides, for example, a road has two sides, left and right. If you want to say we will cross to the other side, you would say přejdeme na druhou stranu. Přejdeme na druhou stranu. We will go to the second side. So these were examples of actual objects or people when you have physical two sides or there are two people. But we can also use it metaphorically. In English, you often use the phrase on one hand or on the one hand and on the other hand. In Czech, we do the same, except we don't use hands, we say sides. And we are going to use the same words. We are going to use the number jeden a druhý. So a mixture of cardinal numbers, jeden, and ordinal numbers, druhý. For example, I want to say, on one hand, I really like editing videos, but on the other, I hate how long it takes. Here is how I would say it. Na jednu stranu moc ráda edituju videa, ale na druhou stranu mě štve, jak dlouho to trvá. You would say na jednu stranu a na druhou stranu, or na jednu stranu, ale na druhou stranu. You can leave out stranu in the second part. Na jednu stranu, ale na druhou. So I could say na jednu stranu moc ráda edituju videa, ale na druhou mě štve, jak dlouho to trvá. So you notice na jednu stranu a na druhou stranu is in the accusative form. It's also possible to use the locative for this expression. You could also say na jedné straně a na druhé straně. I personally like to use na jednu stranu a na druhou, and I think it's also more common, but you can come across both. Let's see another example with this expression. On one hand, he was looking forward to it, but on the other, he was a little afraid. Na jednu stranu se těšil, ale na druhou se trochu bál. Na jednu stranu se těšil, ale na druhou se trochu bál. Na jednu stranu, ale na druhou. You could say na jedné straně, ale na druhé, but in my opinion it sounds better to say na jednu stranu, na druhou stranu. And the last thing I want to teach you is an idiom that we can use to describe a person who's broke. We use the words jedna kapsa prázdná a druhá vysypaná, which literally means one pocket is empty and the other is turned inside out. In other words, it's also empty. So the person is poor, is broke. You could say on byl jedna kapsa prázdná, druhá vysypaná, which means literally he was one pocket empty and the other turned inside out. We could also say měl jednu kapsu prázdnou a druhou vysypanou, which makes more sense in English. He had one pocket empty and the other one turned inside out. Měl jednu kapsu prázdnou a druhou vysypanou. This is an expression that you can find in stories. It's something that we don't use so much anymore, but I think it's quite a nice expression. And it's good to understand it. If you read a Czech fairy tale, I'm sure you will find an expression like this. So remember, when you talk about two objects or two people, use the words jeden a druhý, one and the second one. Or jedna a druhá depends what is it that you're describing. And here is a simple exercise for you. Pause the video so you can work on it at your own pace, then resume when you're ready to see the correct answers. I would like to hear some example sentences from you, so feel free to write something in the comments, share it with the other viewers and me, and we can discuss it there. To je ode mě všechno, mějte se krásně a uvidíme se zase za týden. Čau!